Summer's heating up, and we're just getting started here at Kocosports.com because we're bringing you live Wrestle AM. That's right, the Coco crew is back, ready to run down the WWE's marquee pay-per-view of the summer. And, of course, you got us here holding it down live. First, you got yours truly, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom, here shaking the room live from beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. And, of course, joining me first to my left, my brother from another mother, the #1 Tokyo Giants fan, manic depressive Dave Kocotis. And, of course, join us from sunny South Florida. Oh, we're talking about the ravishing one, Rob Sackett. What is up, gentlemen? I tell you, are you not excited? I mean, are you happy?
I'm excited. I thought it was
great. You got the pay-per-views in the books. Are you guys not thrilled? Are you not? I know Dave's not psyched, but what about you, Rob? How do you feel about this?
Dude, I loved it. I enjoyed the pay-per-view start to finish. Thought it was great. Except I think it was bullshit. Cesaro lost. Fuck you, RVD. Dave, what were your thoughts? It was okay.
I'm sorry, I'm the most negative guy in the room. Sorry. But now, let's go this way. Win, loss, or tie. Booms. First off, Internet Inventory, thank you for joining us in our Google chat. Thank you, Forsaken, and I believe Rob also helped set that up. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun hearing your guys' stuff. But down in the comments below on YouTube, please put win, loss, or tie. Booms, you're the main man, so you go first, my friends.
Okay, we're talking about wins, losses, or ties. I want to tell everybody, please put that down in the comment section. Did you think tonight's pay-per-view was a win, a loss, or a tie, and why? But real quick, everybody wants to know about the results of pay-per-view profits, and despite our best efforts, and despite my best efforts...
Thank you. 3 times, 3-peat, baby. I'm Michael motherfucking Jordan in this house. Just call me the Chicago Bulls.
That's right, Dave. You're like the five-time champion because you only got 5 right, and therefore you were a loser. We had a 3-way tie. Despite the tiebreakers, we had a 3-way tie for first. It was Tiffany Nikki. And where's this other guy? Elway, excuse me, take 2. Elway 0798. And yours truly. All of us got 7 predictions correct. Out of the 4 tiebreakers, we all got 3. So we all, again, despite best efforts, we tied at 10, and I guess that just means we need better tiebreakers for the future. We kind of came in half-assed, and now we're paying the price. But congratulations to Tiffany Nikki and Mr. Elway there. I'm not sure if he's the real John Elway, but for the sakes of this purpose of this review here, he totally is, because fucking John Elway watches fucking WrestleMania. But
congratulations.
Overall, kids, I'm gonna give it a win. While it wasn't absolutely perfect, but I will say it was a solid pay-per-view. Definitely, and I know this isn't saying much, but it was definitely a step up from Battleground last month. This was something where they had been putting some thought into it, some planning into it, and it actually looked like it showed. So, got to give it a thumbs up here. Definitely a win. Got to start with you, Rob. What did you think? Win, loss, or tie?
Huge win. Huge win. Best pay-per-view since WrestleMania.
All right, I dread to ask. Dave Kocotis, what did you think?
I think this was...
It was a loss.
No, hold on. Let me answer, gentlemen. Let me answer. Just because I'm not as positive Petey as you guys over there, let me answer. It was a regular WWE TNA pay-per-view where the best hour was the first hour. There's something about WWE and TNA that's broken. You should build up to a good... Like, this week's NXT started off really bad and went up to be great. It seems like on all the American pay-per-views, it's like, holy shit, this is going to be the greatest pay-per-view. What a first hour. Second hour. Okay, third hour. Really? Is this fucking... This is what counts as wrestling these days? Fucking kids like this shit? I'm going to go with... I want to give it a tie, but John Cena lost. And I think that just automatically makes it a win for me. So I'm going to go slight win. I'm not as positive as these two guys, but I still thought it got the job done. But there's something wrong with America that the first hour of all their pay-per-views is the best hour. We need to fix it.
I liked other hours, personally.
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree when we break it down.
All right. Well, I guess the big story coming out of SummerSlam is not one, not two, but count them, kids, three. Three title changes on one pay-per-view. It was an absolute madhouse. So let's start the review here. We're going to start with the pre-show match. Now, some of you didn't get your picks in for this, and I think that hurt a lot of you in pay-per-view profits. But you saw the Swiss Superman, Cesaro, taking on Rob Van Dam. You know, starting out this match, I didn't know what to think about it going in. I was glad they added the match, and I was glad they added them. Instead of taking one of the matches they had there on the card and moving it up to the pre-show, they created a special match just for the pre-show. I think in that terms it delivered as far as interest and performance. Now, it was a little bit slower than I would have liked, but it did kind of pick up. It got the crowd into it. You had some near falls. Cesaro had a great copycat move. I don't know if anybody caught that. He did his own version of Rolling Thunder, but he ended it with a double stomp instead of the senton splash. So I thought that was great. It was just reversal of moves and European uppercuts like a motherfucker, man. I mean, just European uppercuts everywhere because he's from Switzerland, so of course he's going to know how to use a European uppercut. I think it could have been a little bit better had they given a little bit more time, but for the time that they gave it, I think it was great. A lot of reversals. It was a lot of fun to watch. Rob Van Dam hits the 5-star frog splash, gets the win, and everybody acts like they're fucking shocked. They're like, I can't believe Cesaro lost. Look at what he's been doing so far. So, overall, I'd say it's a great match to start off with. I think it really helped set the tone for the pay-per-view. So, Dave, let's start with you. I mean, do you think it was a good idea to add that match? And two, do you think that match delivered for what it was on the pre-show?
I thought it was a good pre-show match, and I thought it was a good idea to add it. Just Cesaro has been on all the media with the 2K tour. He's all over the. If you watch Raw outside of an English-speaking country, he's all over it. He does a lot of the introductions. He has been working like a madhouse, and he's an awesome wrestler. Brings a lot of value to the company. 2K loves him. So overall, I'm glad that Cesaro got on SummerSlam. And Rob Van Dam, I mean, he's a part-timer. He's from California. So I thought maybe a little bit of a hometown edge. I thought that's what they gave him. I'm a little disappointed. I wouldn't say shocked. Shocked is maybe like you didn't see it coming. I'm a little disappointed they didn't give it to Cesaro. But they gave Rob Van Dam a win in his home state. And I thought it was pretty damn good. But I don't want to say I was shocked. I was just like, I'm disappointed. I think Cesaro has to get a push soon. Has to. It's just the guy brings so much value to the company, and he's such a great wrestler. So I hope that maybe after this they rebuild it. But Rob Van Dam and Cesaro deserve to be on this pay-per-view, and I thought it was a pretty good opener. Just disappointed, but kind of expected disappointment. You know what I mean? I definitely. A lot of people are using the word shocked. I wouldn't use the word shocked. I'd be like, of course, like more of that feeling. But the match was pretty damn good for a pre-show match. Rob?
Absolutely. Rob, what say you?
I enjoyed the match. My gripes are commentary would not shut the fuck up and actually talk about the damn match. Like, the entire match was them talking about Brock Lesnar. And they didn't even bother going with, like, oh, these are both Heyman guys and talking about that at length until, like, 3/4 of the way through. JBL brought it up, and then that was it. I don't know. Like, they should have talked about the match way more than they did instead of the network and Brock Lesnar. That was frustrating. And why not just have Sheamus defend his belt against Cesaro here? Like, they were talking trash to each other all during the 2K panel, and you still could have had him lose, and it would have had another title defense.
Well, I see what you're saying, but remember, I believe the next pay-per-view coming up is Night of Champions, and I think that's going to happen anyway. So, who knows? Maybe that's, excuse me, something that maybe they'll look into for the next pay-per-view. Now, real quick here, I want to give a shout-out to the Internet Infantry who are watching us live right here. I'm going to give shout-outs here to Loki as me, 123. He gives it a win. Hockey Fan HD says he thought it was a tie. BGC Fan says it was a win. Garuda, win. It's just all over, more so positive than anything else. And guys, we're going to get to everything in just a moment. We're going to try to quickly run down this pay-per-view. First match out the gate.
Let's say something real quick, Booms. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the one thing I want to say is I think WWE needed this. It seems like the Internet Infantry found it was a win. I think the Internet as a whole thought it was a win. I think WWE needed a good pay-per-view. I like I said, SmackDown was good, but Raw was just depressing. I think they needed this, and Battleground was absolutely horrible. I'm glad that WWE got a win because I don't know if we could handle another loss. Just don't.
Here's the thing: if this pay-per-view would have been a loss, it would have been even worse for WWE because it was okay. You mean to tell me you had everything planned out? You told us to just kind of grit our teeth and get through Battleground. You had everything lined up, all the finishes lined up. You knew where you wanted to go. You booked your way backwards, get from point A to point B, and you still fucked it up. What the fuck are you guys doing? I think if it would have flopped, that would have spelled just doom and despair, gloom, agony, what have you, for WWE. But this just shows me when they actually give a shit, they can pull off a decent pay-per-view. Now, of course, they at least they kind of shocked me here. The first match out the gate was a title match, which I think is a good way to start out. For the Intercontinental title, you had the champion, The Miz, defending against Dolph Ziggler, who is, by the way, the Kocosports.com Internet champion. I thought, okay, they're going to start it off here, and I thought overall it was a pretty good match. They did a good job playing off The Miz, hey, don't touch the moneymaker. He several times throughout the early part of the match, he was able to avoid punches and kicks to the face, and I think that worked out because by the time Ziggler did get him in the face a couple of times, I think once with a punch and then second with a super kick, it felt so much more satisfying that he finally managed to get a hold of his face. They had some great crowd reaction. They had a great sequence with Famouser being avoided into the skull-crushing finale, the missing of another move into the zigzag. We got a 1, 2, 3, so we had a winner and a new Intercontinental Champion. That's right, Dolph Ziggler. Not only is the Kocosports.com Internet Champion, he is also the Intercontinental Champion. So I can just say, wow, absolutely great match. Rob, let's just start with you with this. Were you just kind of... I was under the impression, I was thinking, okay, they're not going to take the belt off The Miz after like a month as champion. They went through all this trouble. They're trying to promote their Marine. We all pulled for Ziggler, but I thought WWE was setting them up for failure, and maybe try to push this out a little bit longer and have them chase it. But, Rob, do you think WWE made the right call by, go ahead and pulling the switch and switching the titles?
Absolutely, so long as they don't have Ziggler lose the title tomorrow night. If they do that, then I'm going to be a little miffed. But Ziggler's an amazing wrestler. No matter who you put him up against, he's going to make the match look great because he sells everything like a god. So having him with the belt's just a great deal because every match for the belt's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing that Ziggler won. I thought this was a great opening match, and I think Ziggler is getting over with the crowd so much, and I think he's this year's Daniel Bryan. And it's about time people got behind him because I think he's probably the best wrestler in WWE today. And I think if they can't let him have a short title run, I think this should be like an RVD ECW television title run. I think this should be a super long run because it does a bunch of stuff. One, if this is a long title run, it makes the Intercontinental title mean something because they've been passing the mid-card titles around way too much. Two, it gives Dolph Ziggler something without him being in the main event. So it's kind of like, here you go, fans. This is your guy. Now let's leave, Triple H's guys alone. So it gives someone to root for, and you get crowd reaction from the Intercontinental title. So I hope that this leads to a very, very long title run. But I thought this was a great opening match. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna say something crazy. To me, maybe match of the night. It really got it kicked off good. It got me in a good mood. It got the crowd into the good mood. It got everyone into it. It made the Intercontinental title feel special. So it was really, really good. So, go ahead.
No, I absolutely 100% agree with you. Think it was a great way to start the pay-per-view. Intercontinental title change. You know, you guys have convinced me, man. You've convinced me. Ziggler's the real deal. When we were trying to crown a new internet champion, I was like, no, not Ziggler, man. He's just been on the bottom. I mean, all he does is job now. I wanted to put the belt on Cesaro, and as soon as we start putting the belt on people, I mean, look what happens. Ziggler is on a hot streak. Cesaro is on a losing streak. So, you know, I guess I should, you know, go against our boy Ziggler. So he made me a believer tonight.
The Kocosports Internet Infantry title is basically the opposite of the Madden curse. You got to remember, first one ever was Daniel Bryan before he won the title, then John Cena before he won the title. Now we have, you know, Ziggler. He's on his way up. So we're like the opposite of the Madden curse.
There you go. All right.
I don't know. Look at how all those people ended, though, so far. You're just setting Ziggler up to get obliterated and lose his belt now.
Oh, no, that's not good. All right. Booms.
All right.
Don't be so negative, Rob.
Yeah. Next here we had the Divas Championship match. Now, I thought this was a little odd putting two title matches next to each other, but we also had a title change in this match. So you had two title changes back to back. I don't know if this was by accident or by design to kind of create this big hype that you're going to start out with two matches and two title changes to kind of set the mood of, oh, okay, well, wow, what else can happen here? Maybe that was their point, but I don't know if I personally would have booked these two matches back to back, but for what it was great. You had the champion AJ Lee defending against Paige, the challenger. Pretty good match. In fact, if I can quote some people here from the internet infantry, if you will, it was Market Garden, who's watching live, by the way. He says Paige versus AJ delivered, and you know, to be quite honest, I have to agree. You know, they played the whole frenemy part. I think one of the highlights was that reverse electric chair when Paige put AJ on her shoulders and dropped her face first onto the railing. That was absolutely amazing. Then I thought, okay, it's going to be over here with the Black Widow. Paige reverses it and does this fucked up, hardcore, like, DDT on steroids. I know what they called it. I can't remember, but it was just...
Rampage.
The Rampage, well, whatever it was called, it was effective. That just DDT on steroids, hit it on AJ, boom, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely amazing. I think that's what Divas Wrestling should be. Yeah, they both look great. They're not too hard on the eyes, if you know what I mean. Wink. These two could actually put on a good match, and it was for a title. Everything was on the line, and they left it out there. So, wow. One of the best Divas matches I can remember in recent memory. But, Rob, how did you feel about this? Do you think the match delivered?
Dude, I thought that match was phenomenal. Like, it was really great. The reversal, everything. It was a great match. There were so many reversals. I don't know. It's weird because you have that amazing Divas match, and then later you had the Stephanie and Brie match, which was like, But this match.
Defending that piece of shit.
Hey,
you
well, I
motherfucker.
said it would either be terrible or amazing.
Go ahead, Rob.
Real quick, Dave, sorry to interrupt here, but this is from the Internet Infantry. Goro said, I'm happy to see that Paige won. I was beginning to think WWE was about to give her the Cesaro treatment, but I'm happy to see that they haven't given up on her so early. And I'll agree with you, Goro. There was some times that we hear about how they're giving up on this new talent left and right. They gave up on Adam Rose. There are reports now that they're giving up on Bo Dallas. And I heard that they'd pretty much given up on Paige. Well, obviously not, because now she's the one carrying the strap. So I think it's a great move by WWE. Now, Dave, real quick, you jump back in here. I mean, what were your thoughts on this match? Were you just as blown away as we were? I mean, 2 title changes back to back?
Yeah, I was on many levels of that. First off, I was so happy that they gave them a little bit of time and let them show their skills. I was just so happy because, like, AJ Lee, I think, has a good enough reputation. But at Paige, I got to see her wrestle in the UK at her family's promotions. I got to see her wrestle in NXT. I got to see her, like, work her way up the ranks. And I just knew she was so talented. But I don't think WWE fans that don't watch NXT or don't watch European Indies and all that, I don't think they knew how good she was. And I think tonight they got to show it. And that move on the outside was absolutely amazing. There was 2 great back-to-back matches and 2 new title winners, which was cool. And I said it in the pre-show that I think AJ Lee can bounce back from a loss more than Paige can. And I'm glad that Paige got the win. But with that said, the thing that got me going, and it was good booking, is they kind of broke the formula. Because usually in WWE, you're like, oh, new champion. Oh, Cena's going to fucking win this shit. So it started off a good hour, but it also kind of started fucking with your head. At least the fucking guy who overanalyzes everything's head by going, well, you got a bunch of new champions. That means Cena's going to win. So I thought it worked on many levels.
Oh, absolutely. Great. I mean, I'm just almost at a loss for words. I mean, just an absolute fantastic way to keep the Divas program moving. I'm hoping to see more matches between these two. I really, really want to see a submission match between these two. That's what I think would put the icing on the cake here. Let's see, moving on here. Damn it, sorry there. Next was the flag match. Jack Swagger versus Rusev. Now, this one, there was some... this was a little confusing. At least that's what I'm getting for the internet. Infantry. I'm trying to search a lot, but somebody.
It wasn't a fucking flag match. It wasn't a fucking flag match. What is this fucking RWA with the fucking monsters ball? Stop calling matches with their fucking nuts. Stop. It wasn't a fucking flag match. Go ahead, Boom.
A flag match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is you put a flag up on on the opposite corners. And basically, if you get your country's flag and wave it around, you win the match. According to the rules with this, it was if you win, you get to wave your nation's flag in the middle of the ring. So really, that's not really a flag match in my opinion here.
They've been doing that all fucking month.
Exactly. Now I will say this. I didn't know how they were going to book this. When I checked the dirt sheets this morning, I had heard reports they hadn't even booked the finish to that match as of this morning, so this was something that came out kind of late. They sold a little bit of a fight before the match actually started. It got going. I will say this: Rusev really showed his skills in this match. In terms of we saw something new from him. Now it used to be he would go out there and squash people in under a minute. And now, he's doing the whole Russian sympathizer thing. Well, in this one, it was different. He had to sell an injury. He had to sell an ankle injury from Swagger. He had to hop around. He had to, at one point, he couldn't he couldn't fully lock in the accolade because he couldn't really get a good plan on his leg, so he went for a half accolade, a modified version of his submission. And plus Swagger looked pretty good in that match. He took a beating, but he kept coming back, kept reversing, kept locking on the Patriot lock. Absolutely amazing. It eventually ended when excuse me, I'm a little tongue-tied right now. When Rusev locked on finally for some reason was able to fully lock on the accolade. Jack Swagger, he got the Stone Cold Steve Austin treatment. He did not submit. He didn't give up. He just passed out in the hole. The referee stopped the match. Then Rusev attacked Zeb Coulter. They threw up the Russian flag, played the Russian national anthem, as I call it, 80s heat. Now, real quick here, I'm going to get to a comment here made by Indy Falcon. He says, as a veteran who served in the 80s, it hurt to see Zeb and Jack lying beneath the Russian flag. It was a much better match than I thought it would be. It was a good run for Swagger, and he run me over. I never liked him before this feud. Well, Indy, first of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, yeah, that match was a hell of a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I had no idea where they were going to go with it. How could they do that? Because you can't have Swagger really just lose because you don't want to make the U.S. look bad, and you don't want to have Rusev lose because you're still wanting to build him up as this monster heel, of the future. And granted, they're probably just going to feed him to John Cena now, but that's beside the point. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Well, you had Swagger. He lost it, but he maintained some credibility. He can say, you know what? You didn't pin me. You couldn't pin me to the mat. You couldn't make me submit. I passed out, and I guarantee if I get back in there with you again, it'll be you submitting this time. And again, this could go down to a submission match. But let's start with you, Dave. Were you just, aside from the flag match, that whole debacle, what did you think about the actual match and the ending?
I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I like the fact that he passed out and didn't tap out. I enjoyed the match. I even enjoyed the finish. I know a lot of Americans are upset by it, but I don't know. Maybe me being my anti-government self was like, so I enjoyed the whole match. I do believe that either Kurt Angle, if he ever comes, and that's a drama and soap opera by itself, but if Kurt Angle or possibly even John Cena, and this is a bit of a stretch. Kurt Angle's a bit of a stretch, but so is Hulk Hogan. If Hulk Hogan has one more match and he doesn't want to go against Cena, maybe him and Rusev at WrestleMania would make sense. So I like the fact that they filled it up. I like the fact that they finished. Maybe they didn't finish the feud, but they finished the storyline at SummerSlam with both guys not looking weak. Like, I thought the first 3 matches, no one looked weak going out of the losers out of these matches, and that's a credit to WWE. I don't think Swagger looks weak. I don't think any of the first 3 matches any of the losers look weak. So credit to WWE. When you got to, I bash them a lot, but you also have to give them credit when they do good. And I enjoyed it a lot. I think, and the thing is, the first hour really set up the John Cena match. Because you're like, 2 new champions, he'll win. Like, everything, to me, everything was, for people that overanalyze stuff, or people that are like, oh, I'm going to predict what's going to happen. I think they did all their effort to be like, no, John Cena's going to win. Look, the formula is there. So once again, the first hour really built up that last hour. And I enjoyed it a lot. So, Rob?
I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. I would have been happier with it had they not told me it was a flag match, because I was excited to see a flag match. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's see that. And it not being that was kind of a letdown, but it was a great match. And I loved Rusev selling the injury, even during the end of the match when he had it locked in and everything. It seemed like he was actually struggling to even keep the hold, and I thought that was great.
Maybe I'm looking way too much in it, but that final accolade submission where Swagger passed out, maybe I'm overanalyzing there. Maybe I was looking at something that I thought was there but wasn't. But is it just me, or did it look like the submission hold was hurting Rusev just as much as it was hurting Swagger? Because you could just see like this agony. Because remember, he was, it hurt the first time to try to do it, but the second time I was thinking that's how Swagger's going to muscle out. It's the submission hold's hurting Rusev just as much as it's hitting Swagger, and I thought that's where they were going with it. But I think it was a satisfying end. Real quick, Goro commented on this match. He said, I was very disappointed to see Swagger losing to Rusev again. It was the absolute perfect chance for WWE to finally get Swagger over like he deserves, but nope. I guess WWE still plans to feed Rusev to Cena. That's yet to be seen, but I'm tending to think, but that's where they're headed. But honestly, Goro, I don't think this feud is over with by a long shot.
I don't think it's over, not because they planned it that way. I just think...
Sorry to interrupt here, but this is actually going to set you up for a couple questions. This is from the Internet Infantry. This is from Jerome Meadows. He had two questions related. He said, I also fear what WWE will do with Swagger now, and do you think the finish hurt Swagger? So, Dave, I guess the two-part question, I think we've answered the first part. Do you think this finish hurt him? But where do they go with Swagger now, as Jerome asked?
I don't know. I think this feud isn't over. I think this feud, I don't think this feud, this is just my opinion. This ain't like deep inside the locker room insider information. It's just my opinion. I don't think this feud was ever supposed to go this far. I think the fact that Swagger got such a huge crowd reaction, we, the people, got behind him, and not only that, but Rusev and Swagger have just done magic as far as live audience participation and people getting into it. So I honestly think that this feud is not over. I think they're just going to drag this out until people stop chanting. But if it's working, go with it. It shocks me that it's working. And I imagine, just to best of my, I honestly have to think it also has shocked WWE. I think it shocked Swagger. I think it shocked everyone. They're like, wow, this really worked. So I guess I don't think it's over. I think the feud.
I'm going to disagree with some of the internet experts, and now I'm not talking about anybody here, but people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't have Swagger play the good guy because he's naturally a heel, his whole size, he's not, he needs to go back to being a heel. And I'm like, dude, he was doing fucking nothing as a heel. He was doing absolutely nothing. At least with this, he's got some traction, but that's where I'm going to stay with that. Nathan Brown, he was actually kind of disappointed in the ending, but he does say the match was not that bad. And they have to have another rematch, so I'm going to agree with them on that. Wow, I mean, dude, these comments are just pouring in. Keep them coming in. We're going to try to get to all your questions if possible. If not, we may have to do a special Stump the Idiot starring Dave Kocosports. Now moving, the reason I say that is because if we start reading every comment, God, I'll be here till like Tuesday. Anyway, next here was I think this was the funnest match of the night. This was just a lot of stuff going on. It was a crazy match, crazy ending, crazy everything, but I loved it. It was the Lumberjack match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. This was, at first, I started wondering about the whole logic of putting in the Lumberjacks, but after a while you kind of see it, because as soon as Rollins would roll out, boom, he'd get thrown right back in, and Ambrose kept coming after him. I mean, he just kept coming after him. There was just fists flying everywhere. They had a great crowd response. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome." I mean, it was just total chaos. You had Ambrose going after the Lumberjacks. You had the two going to the outside of the ring. You had Corporate Kane coming out telling the Lumberjacks to do your job, go get them back in the ring. It led to a massive brawl inside the ring. Rollins took advantage of it, clocked Ambrose with the Money in the Bank briefcase, got the pin. So, I mean, the match was just all over the place. It was just complete chaos from top to bottom. The splashes from the outside, them literally picking up, the Lumberjacks literally picking up Rollins and bringing him to the ring. It's just, wow, absolutely just total insanity, top to bottom. I loved it, but Rob, I guess we could start with you on this one. What did you think about this one?
I loved the match. It was fucking amazing. Like, start to finish, it was just a great match. I thought Lumberjack was going to be stupid as fuck. Like, I was mostly just angry it wasn't for the briefcase, but it was great. Like, just amazing. And when he stole his curb stomp and used it on him, I marked out. It's a fantastic.
Dave, did you embrace the insanity?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I thought for sure the Lumberjack match was going to be absolute garbage. I was like, these guys are too great for a Lumberjack match. I was like, they should have did something else, but I think it really worked in their favor. One of my favorite spots, it's something small, but Seth Rollins was trying to get away. JBL's like, the Lumberjacks ain't even doing their job. And then all the Lumberjacks came and brought him back to the ring, and that led to a great high spot. I really enjoyed it. So I thought for sure. I don't know. I really did enjoy it. So I can't put it over enough. Right. I think the feud is going to keep going. I'm going to be a little bit negative here. The only problem is even if Swagger Rusev feud continues, if the Miz feud continues, if the Divas feud continues, if all these feuds continue, you could still be like, well, it feels like they finished the chapter. It feels like they finished the story on Miz, the Rusev. It feels, at least tonight. The only negative I could have is it did not feel like this was the end of their feud. And with SummerSlam, I think even if it isn't the end of the feud, it should feel like that. Like the AJ Lee Page thing. You could be like, well, that could be the end of the feud. Swagger, you could be like, that could be the end of the feud. But as far as the Shield goes, you're like, ah, fuck that. They're going to fight tomorrow. So,
I'm actually hoping
but it's not that big of a negative.
I'm hoping that the next logical thing, in my opinion, that needs to be done for this feud here is end it in a steel cage. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Now, there is actually a comment. It's actually a comment, but I'm going to turn it into a question here. It's from the Nerd Man, because I'm awesome like that. He says, again, Ambrose and Rollins much more over than Reigns. And I think I could ask that question to both of you. Rob, Dave, do you think Ambrose and Rollins are more over than Roman Reigns? Because Roman Reigns is being pushed as the next golden boy. You got Rollins as Mr. Plan B, and you got Ambrose as just this unhinged lunatic. But it's easy to argue out of their matches. I believe that Ambrose and Rollins got the bigger pop. So do you think, Dave, that Ambrose and Rollins are more over than Roman Reigns?
Rob, you can go first. You're the Shield expert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Ambrose is definitely more over than any of them. Like, I don't think Rollins is. I think he might be at best on par with Reigns. But Ambrose, yeah, the crowd loves Ambrose.
Yeah, I think all three of them are doing an amazing job. It's almost like, it reminds me of in college basketball, the Fab Five, and how they went to the NBA and they're like, which one's better? It feels kind of like that. I believe all three are doing good. Obviously, I think Roman Reigns has the most pressure because he's the one that's chosen as the golden boy, and once you're the golden boy, it's easy to turn on you because WWE is going to give you everything, and it's, that's the problem with WWE. It's like, here's our hero, the golden boy. We give him everything, and people don't like the New York Yankees unless they're scumbags. So, I just insulted New York Yankee fans, but basically, there's no underdog. There's no, wow, look at this guy. I can get behind him. They don't have the Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, anything like that going. Where I think Roman Reigns has the most pressure. I think Seth Rollins might be the weakest, but that's not fair because Dean Ambrose is just doing amazing things. I think Dean Ambrose has the potential to be the next Stone Cold, the next big star, especially like maybe Roman Reigns will be the next big Cena / Golden Boy hero, but I think the anti-hero will be Dean Ambrose, and I believe we live in a generation now where the anti-hero is way cooler than the hero.
Okay. Guys, I cannot stress to you how much comments we're getting in here. Thank you, Internet Infantry. Keep them coming in. BGC fan says, do you think WWE does not want to make Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins top superstars because they just want one golden boy? Let me start off on that one. Yes. Because they want one person because a lot of these, WWE in particular, loves to build their company around one person when they have one top star, and then it's just throw the villain of the week against that top star and try to sell some tickets. Well, that's what they're grooming Roman Reigns for. There's no more room. There's only room for one rooster in the hen house. And right now it's John Cena. They're building the company around him. They have built the company around him, like it or not. But, they're smart to know that John Cena's not going to be there forever. You wouldn't think that by the way they book him, but he's not going to be there forever. And so they're grooming his replacement right now. So, yeah, I think they have, instead of letting stuff naturally happen or trying to get more than one person ready to fill that top spot, they just go, you're it. You're the chosen one. Okay, let's get you ready. I think that's the way WWE works.
I don't know. I think it's more that they saw the option to do the story with Ambrose and Rollins, and they don't need to be in the main event. They don't need a belt or the opportunity for a belt that much. And if you're being realistic, Rollins has the Money in the Bank contract. Like, Rollins is, kayfabe-wise, he's closer to the belt than Reigns is.
Yeah. I just think WWE. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It reminds me of the Green Bay Packers winning Super Bowl 1 and 2. They did the power sweep, and they did it over and over and over and ran the ball. Well, WWE, WWF, they won the pro wrestling war worldwide, especially in America, by let's just make one star. Bruno, Hogan. Oh my God, we got to find a star. That's where they've made that's their power sweep. And I don't think it should be that way. I think it should be like the UFC and ECW, where UFC and ECW is bigger than anyone in it. Like, no one's bigger than the UFC brand name. No one was bigger than ECW's brand name. But when you come to WWE, well, right now, John Cena's bigger. Then in the future, Roman Reigns is going to be bigger. At one time, Hulk Hogan was bigger. And it's weird because Vince, when he gets betrayed and they leave, he's like, no one's bigger than the WWE. That's not what you fucking sell. You can't be like, The Rock is the greatest goddamn human being alive. He's more important than everybody. He left. No one's bigger than WWE. No, everyone's bigger than WWE. That's the problem. I just do not like the formula of what WWE does with their, hey, it's one star, he gets everything, fuck everyone else. I think it actually hurts them. But the problem is, Vince has won many wars and has earned a lot of money doing it. So convincing him to do, funny thing is, you know what would convince him the most? The UFC just keeps succeeding. When the UFC starts beating them at everything, which in some cases the UFC is really close at beating them at some things. Some things they're blowing them away at, but it's still a close battle. And people are like, oh, it's completely different. But that's still pay-per-view buys. That's still competitor. That's how many of your friends, you know, especially if you're older, how many of your friends used to wear Stone Cold stuff and now wear tap-out stuff? So it is competition. And the thing is, the UFC, they can lose Anderson Silva, they can lose GSP, they can lose Brock Lesnar, because the brand name is more important than those guys. Where I don't believe that. If John Cena walked out right now, we would be happy as shit, but WWE wouldn't know what to do. And the same thing with Hulk Hogan, and I just wish that they didn't make someone bigger than the brand name. And I think they're just stuck with their formula. So I hope that answered your question. That was a bit of a ramble, but go on.
Yeah, a little bit there. Real quick here, and I'm trying to get all these comments together here. Market Garden said one thing I felt sad about the Lumberjack match. It was seeing Cody, Goldust, Cesaro, and RVD, and Usos standing around like a pair of jobbers. They couldn't even put Sheamus out there. Honestly, I don't think it would have mattered had they put Sheamus in. And no, look, the Lumberjacks are not out there to get over. That's not to advance their feuds. It's not to get them over. It's to put over the talent that's in the ring. That's the purpose of the Lumberjack. If it's not, then you got a big problem. They stayed out of it. They played a key role in it. Like I said, when Seth Rollins tried to run away, I was like, how in the fuck are you going to run away and get a count out in a Lumberjack match? Well, nope. There were the Usos. There was Stardust. They saw Rollins. They grabbed him. They picked him up. Everybody got together. They picked him up over their head. Were taking him back to the ring. Dean Ambrose saw him, got on the top rope, and jumped off and did this big splash. Bodies everywhere. It was crazy. And then Joshua Green says, well, why do you think they had Goldust stand up to Kane and not Stardust or another guy needing to go over to help? I think he was, in the face-to-face with Kane. Honestly, I think it was just Goldust. You go do it, because it led to that big brawl where all hell broke loose and it allowed Rollins to clock Ambrose with a briefcase. I'm just saying, guys, don't look too hard into it. Yeah, maybe they could tease a feud between Goldust and Kane, or maybe bring the Rhodes brothers in some kind of like little mini feud against the Authority, maybe. But honestly, guys, don't look too much into it. I mean, hell, if you want to go by that logic, remember the last two people in that ring, last two Lumberjacks in that ring that Ambrose had to clear house of before he got caught was the Wyatt family. So does that mean that Ambrose, by that logic, is going to feud with the Wyatt family? Book that shit. But I don't know. again, maybe we're reading way too much into it, but overall, I thought it was great. Now, Rob, do you have any parting thoughts before we go to the next match?
I actually I had one and then I lost it and I can't find it now and it makes me sad because damn it, I had something to say. Oh wait, that's right. We need to take one positive from who was in that lumberjack array. Well, one, Damian Sandow in his fantastic lumberjack costume was great. But two, that was the pay-per-view premiere of Slater Gator.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was.
I was happy to see Bo Dallas there. All right, I just want to thank some people on other social medias here. Our editor, Jerry O'Neill, says, well, I still wear Austin 316, but that's because I grew up, got married, and now I'm poor and can't afford Tap Out. I'll just stay retro. That's from our editor on Google+. And on Twitter,
Yes.
I'd like to thank @Polo_Rome, @Kevin ENOCH, @PJRays25, and @Osino_Fly. Just a lot of people, just tweeting out the show, and really appreciate that. And on Facebook, Jason Rex says, my vote is a win, not just because that fucking bitch-ass non-wrestling Triple H cocksucker. Oh, come on, dude. I gotta read this stuff. John Cena lost his belt for 15th, but every other match was awesome. Even the Divas title match was kick-ass, and Stephanie looked so effing hot. So, there you go. So, Jason Rex gives it a win. All right. So, we'll get more to YouTube comments and possibly
Well,
Twitter.
you read it before you read it on air.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said
All right.
that, I said, Dave, that's, no, I said, Dave, that's why, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Sorry,
Yes.
I'm having a little bit of a, okay, sorry, I was having a little bit of trouble here with my interwebs. My internet coverage for some reason has been a little spotty, but as I was saying, that is why you read stuff before you read it on air.
Fuck that. We'll go live. Do this shit live.
I thought he was talking about Stephanie McMahon with those descriptions.
Dave Kokotis is the Ron Burgundy of Internet Wrestling Radio. Hello, I'm Dave Kokotis.
It's about a
That-
conversation. It is.
That does remind me, though. You said something earlier, Boom Boom. You said if we did all the questions, we'd be here till Tuesday. Dave and I can save from testing that. It'll last you about 2 hours.
Yep, we did a SmackDown review and answered every
Yeah,
question.
y'all can have fun with that.
All right, let's get back on track. Booms, drive the bus.
Yes, let's get back on track. Yes, let's focus here. This is WrestleAM, not Wrestle ADD. We are wrestling ADD here, but that's a different story. Next here, Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. I did not hate this match. Let me make that clear. I did not hate the match. I actually kind of liked it. I just think where it was placed was just bad because we had this just huge chaotic, everybody gets in the ring. You had Rollins get this big win. It was just absolute chaos from top to bottom. They went over the arena, and now we're going to go to slow it down with Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt. And first of all, Dave Kokotis, I would like to point out on this one, they did show the wide-angle lens, the wide shot, and the whole arena was lit up with the cell phones, and people were chanting or singing he's got the whole world in his hands. So as far as Bray Wyatt's popularity goes, proven right
sometimes you're
yet again. Get used to it. Let's see here. It was a slow pace. I thought it had some decent crowd responses. I don't know if they were trying to slow down the pace of the match or just the way these two work with each other, or maybe Wyatt's just a slower worker, because I felt like Chris Jericho was like, okay, let's do this spot here. Okay, rest, hold. Okay, I don't know if this was saying something about Bray Wyatt's ability or Chris Jericho. They're wanting to bring down the mood of the pay-per-view, come down from that fast-paced chaos that we had the match before. So I don't know, but I thought it was a decent match. And one thing I will say, I am glad that, and this is old school, Bray Wyatt bringing back the Oriental Spike. They won't call it that anymore for some reason, but he brought, because remember, you tape up the thumb and you jam it right in your throat. That's the Oriental Spike. You want to go old school, you either use like some kind of cover on your thumb, or You take something like a bolt and you put it right there up under your thumb and jam them right in the throat with it. Ugh, beautiful. Retro, 80s, love it. Consult your local library. Let's see here, but like I said, it was a little bit slower match. You know, we had some arm bars. Then you had Bray Wyatt do some weird shit in there, which fit with his character. He did like the little exorcist thing, standing up backwards. Told Jericho that he can't kill him because he's already dead. But eventually, Bray Wyatt hit Sister Abigail and got the win and I'm going to say a much needed win. This was a tough spot for him to be in, but I think it was a pretty good match. I'm hoping that this feud's kind of over with now. I doubt it is. Actually, I think every match here is going to have some kind of follow-up to it because I don't think anything came to an end. But this is one I kind of want to have come to an end because Bray Wyatt really, really needed a solid victory, especially on a pay-per-view. He got it here tonight. And Rob, do you think it was a satisfying match with a satisfying win for Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, I liked the match. I thought it was a decent match. It like you said, following the match that it did okay. I think I know why Jericho was going a little bit slow, though. I'm pretty sure he was high as fuck, because when they showed his face right before the match, his eyes were so bloodshot, and they were bloodshot the whole match. I'm pretty sure Jericho was high as balls.
Possibility. I thought this was the break of, wow, the pay-per-view went from awesome to survivable. I just thought, you know, at this moment in time, everything before that, maybe pay-per-view of the year, everything's so exciting. Everything after this, it was just like, are you fucking trying to fucking, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit slow. And
that's where the switch happens for you, where you become Eeyore.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I'm just not impressed from the pay-per-view on. I just thought everything was too slow, but I don't know. I'm glad Bray Wyatt is getting over with the crowd. He's just not getting over with me. I'm just like, all right, whatever. So, I don't know. I thought this was the start of let's slow everything down.
Yes, I think it was. Now, Dave, you actually got a question here from our friend Wrestling Ranton, who for some fucking reason beyond me, put us at number 3 on his top 10.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell we did.
Stuff we did not deserve.
Blows my mind. He's got his own YouTube channel, kids. Go click on him, and then go find his show and watch it. He's actually got a budget and production values, which is more than I can say for us. But anyway, he asked you. He says, Dave, do you think Bray Wyatt is back in good standing after his win over Jericho?
I think, you know, I know it's going to sound very dickish. I think for the crowd, yeah. For me, no. I just, you know, me personally, I just don't see it. But I'm glad he's getting over. I'm glad it's working for him. So I think the fans are going to forgive him. I think he's going to bounce back. It's just, I think, and maybe it's not Bray's fault. I think I just overhyped him. I thought he was amazing as Husky Harris. He had some great matches in NXT where he really hustled. I was like, man, this is a big guy that can hustle. And now it's like, I'm a character. Look at me, I'm a character. And I don't know. I think this all goes down to what style of wrestling you like. If you like storytelling, characters, over the top, Undertaker's the greatest thing in the world type fan, I think you're going to lean towards, oh yeah, everything's forgiven. He's back on top. But I'm more of a in-ring, bust-your-ass kind of fan. And, you know, I guess it just depends on what type of fan you are. But, no, I don't know. I feel guilty. Like, I feel like I'm the only one. Like, Bray Wyatt is fucking awesome. Like, I really don't like Bray Wyatt. How dare you? Like, well, I'm sorry. But I hope that he can bounce back. I hope he can do good. But I think if you are character storyline driven, I think you think Bray Wyatt is the cat's meow. If you're in-ring, bust-your-ass driven, you're just like, all right, good for him. You know what I mean? So I guess it depends on what type of fan you are. As for me personally, if this is just at me, no, I thought the pay-per-view slowed down from here. So
absolutely.
So I mean, I know I'm the negative one, but I I don't want to be false positive. So, but I could see other points of views. I really can. Like, if you love Bray Wyatt and that's your style of wrestling, I'm not going to knock you. It's not for me. And I saw him as Husky Harris bust his ass, and I was just hoping that would come out. Because I think I'm the guy that believes that you could have a great character and still bust your ass. But it doesn't seem like WWE and Bray Wyatt in particular don't believe that. And I'm not saying he's bad. It's not like I'm like, he fucking sucks. I just, as a fucking asshole fan, don't think he's living up to his potential in the ring. And I know I'm in the minority on that, and that's okay. It's okay to be in the minority sometimes.
Okay to be wrong. Yeah, it's perfectly fine to be wrong.
I have been wrong before. I'm not one of those guys that will come out here and say I'm 100% correct all the time. That's boo-boo's job.
Exactly. Don't encroach on my territory, son. What about you, Rob? You got anything you want to weigh in on about this?
No, like, I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't fantastic.
It was okay. Now, next here was the match a few of us didn't want to see, but we were going to have to watch it anyway. It was Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella. Now, Rob, let me tell you what happened while you were masturbating. Stephanie McMahon came out in this like leather black outfit. I think that's as far as you watched it on there. And then Brie Bella came out. This match, again, it wasn't a bad match. I think it was bad placement on the card. I think I would have put this one after the Lumberjack match to slow things down. But, I mean, for one, I will say Stephanie McMahon did a pretty good job for not being in the ring for 10 years and not doing a tune-up match. You could tell, there was just like, do a spot, take a break. Do a spot, take a break. Do a spot, take a break. They were slowly doing this. You had some Brie Bella get some, good offense in there. Now, out came like one of the biggest shockers of the night. Triple H came down to the ring. It looked like Brie was about to put Stephanie away with a no-lock. He pulled out the referee. Nikki comes in and then turns on her sister, gives her a forearm, allowing Stephanie McMahon to get the win. So this was, for one, this match went a lot longer than what I thought it would. And just the whole Nikki turning on her sister, and I don't get it. I know that the whole argument that Stephanie was raising was towards Nikki was, well, your sister abandoned you, then made your life miserable. I'm like, no, Stephanie made her life miserable. Stephanie's the one who kept putting her in those handicap matches. Stephanie is the one who had 4 Divas beat her down at one time. Stephanie is the one who kept doing that. I mean, I know maybe I'm overthinking it, but the match itself, okay. The heel turn by Nikki was fucking stupid. I'm going to stick by that, and I don't care what excuses you make. I still think it's I think it's beyond fucking stupid. So, Rob, did I catch you up enough on that?
Yeah, I enjoyed that episode of Total Divas.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Rob, knowing you, as soon as you saw Stephanie come out in that black dominatrix outfit, you just whipped it out and just like, oh, Stephanie.
I didn't put it away after AJ and Paige.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we got that cleared up. But you seemed a little bit more of a connoisseur with Stephanie McMahon. They were chanting, you still got it. Well, what do you think, Rob? Does she still got it?
I don't think she ever had it.
I'm talking about wrestling.
Oh, well, looks-wise, she still has it, but wrestling-wise, she never had it. She's okay, but, I mean, the pace of the match made it pretty obvious. Yeah. And I didn't like that they basically just had Brie Bella job out for her.
Yeah, you're shocked. Come on, Dave. Rain your hatred upon this.
You know what? Before I bring my hatred, I'm gonna say, Mama says say the most important, nice things first. So here I go. Stephanie McMahon role playing as China, nice touch. Triple H sold the drop kick more than he ever sold anything else in his life. I was like, holy shit, I never saw Triple H sell anything like that. So way to go, Triple H, for selling a Divas drop kick. And, Martin Dunn, comic book creator, also hosts the show sometimes, said, if you watch 90s wrestling at all, even like for 10 minutes if you watch 90s wrestling, you would have seen the heel turn come. With that said, that's the positives. I don't even know if that was that positive. Everything about this match is what's wrong with the world. No, not wrestling. The fucking world.
You're right. Women are the problem.
Fucking despised every fucking thing about
Give
this.
Give them the right to vote and look what happens.
Everyone that says, "Oh, it's okay," just seems like fucking they're only doing it because it's nice. If this happened at a local indie, you would think it sucked. If it was anyone else, if it was Eva Marie and not Stephanie McMahon, you would have said it sucked. But no, since it's Stephanie and we have to like the McMahons, it was okay. Put anyone in that ring not named Stephanie McMahon, everyone would be shitting on this match. This is what is wrong with the fucking world. The whole fucking world. The whole world. What is wrong with it is this fucking match. I fucking hated it. I despised it. And everyone that's like, "Oh, it's okay." Really, you're saying that to like... I got nothing, dude. I'm so fucking angry. So
yeah, I should give props to Nita Jones Nita Jones. Looking so sassy there in that photo. She's saying, "Hey, I called it. Nikki would turn heel tonight." Yes, you did, ma'am. You absolutely called it. It doesn't make any sense, but I just think it was. I think it would have worked better had Nikki had done more than just forearm her sister. Like if she would have hit her with like a face buster or something out of nowhere. That really would have worked out a lot better. But if I get forearmed by my brother, I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna like stun me, but I'm not gonna go down enough for a 3 count. So I know I'm just nitpicking, but
I just want to read 2 things from Google Plus.
Okay.
Jerry, our editor, says Bray needs less exposure. He's better as a mouthpiece and pull out one awesome match every 4 months. When he has it, he needs to go over. And then he also said Steph got tested. Not only does she have it, but now Triple H has it too. I don't know, like, there's a part of me that, like, did people really fucking enjoy this? Like, there's a part of me, I'm such a cynical fucking asshole, the "she still got it" chant. That had to be started with sarcasm. That had to be, like, someone's like, "She still got it," and then fucking other people joined in. I cannot...
I imagine with Triple H.
I was praying somebody piped that in. That's what I was hoping. Somebody piped it in, but hey, whatever.
I don't think it's what's wrong with pro wrestling. I think it's what's wrong with the world. I fucking absolutely despise this match. Let's move to something else, or at least comments, or do something, Boom Boom. I'm fucking angry. I don't even want to fucking talk about it.
Match of the night. Match of the night, then. Agreed.
Rob,
Yes,
there's a part of me that deep down inside hates you, because you're like, this ain't going to be that bad.
Actually, Oscar Moore, he also shit on the match too. He said Brie killed that match. She literally had no offense, and it hurt the turn. I kind of agree with him. I think Brie should have had a little bit, but remember, she had to kind of wrestle around Stephanie McMahon, who refused to get in the ring, refused to shake off any ring rust. It was just like she just showed up and was like, "Okay, I'm wrestling today. Let's go." So I think they did good I think she did good for what she could. And again, I think the heel turn is stupid. That's all I'm going to go with it here. I know. Next here, geez, I kind of want to know what happened on this one. I guess I'm going to start with Rob on this one. Is Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. This was kind of set up, at least backstage-wise, as a test for Roman Reigns. Because remember, they're grooming him to be the Golden Boy, so they put him in there with Orton. They let him go over 15 minutes, which I think is good. I will say this: it turned out to be a lot better than what I thought, particularly the reversals of the spear. There was a spear that got reversed into a power slam, or a spear that got reversed into an RKO. I thought for a second there that Randy Orton was going to pull the upset on him, but Roman Reigns again looking good. Now he looked good from an aspect of as far as offense goes. I think he's got that down. I think he needs to kind of widen up his moveset just a little bit more so than just spear, Superman punch, that drop kick from the outside onto the ring apron, and I think that's about it. I think what?
Samoan drop.
Oh yeah, he hit one of those off the top rope. So yeah, that's 4 moves. Well, he needs one more, then he's hit John Cena territory. So I think I think it was a good test for Reigns. But let me ask you, since you've got his picture there as your avatar there, Rob, what did you think about the match? Do you think they're progressing quite nicely with Reigns, or do you think he needs a little bit more work?
I think he's doing great. He put on a longer match than he usually puts on, and he stayed active during it. It didn't look like he was just laying there like John Cena or anything. Like, he was actually staying fairly active, and I felt like he did really well.
What about you? What about you, Dave? Are you liking it? You loving it? You think he passed the test? Do you think he needs a little bit more work? I mean, come on, Dave. You're a teacher. If you saw one of your students performing like Roman Reigns and you had a one-on-one with them during office hours, what would you tell him?
I would apologize to giving him such a test that he was supposed to fail. Randy Orton, just, man, I was sitting there smacking my computer. Like, hello, WWE Network, did you freeze? Are you frozen? I still hear commentary. Oh, no, just Randy Orton staring for fucking 20 fucking hours. People pay for this shit, Randy. People pay for this shit. You can't just stare. You just can't. I mean, what the...
Wait, Dave, do you think what it is that before they start the match, they're like, hey, Randy, we got to add an extra 5 minutes of time onto your match. Do you think you can do that? And he's like, yeah, 5 minutes unscripted? I got just the thing. And he just stares to make up whatever time they tell him to add.
It's a real possibility. It really is. But
Goro actually thought it was the match of the night. He says, I thought Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns was the match of the night. When it comes to actual wrestling, Randy Orton speared a scoop power slam counter was the most incredible move of the pay-per-view, in my opinion. Excuse me, in my opinion.
I thought it was a real nice move. I'm a Randy Orton hater, but I thought that was a really nice move. I don't think it's match of the night. I don't even think it's move of the night. I don't think it's even better than Divas match. No, I disagree with that. The scoops,
I think the Rampage was move of the night.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like, people are like, "Oh, the Divas, that wasn't meant to be an insult." The Divas match was pretty good. But yeah, the spear to scoop slam thing was pretty sweet looking. That was probably the highlight of the match. I don't think it was highlight of the night, but definitely highlight of the match. But I think Roman Reigns did okay. I mean, it's WWE, like, you can't, when you put him up there with Randy Orton, Dave Bautista, John Cena, you can't, like, judge him on how well he's doing. It's just, all right, can you at least survive this? I mean, it's not going to be good. So I think a more fair assessment is, can he handle himself against WWE superstars, the chosen ones, the D Club? And I think he did okay. All things considered.
I think Garuda here disagrees. He says Roman Reigns really needs to use more than 5 moves. Stephanie McMahon wrestled better than him. First of all, Garuda, it was 4 moves he used, and I think he might have a point, sir.
Yeah, but I once again, he's the WWE Golden Boy. He's probably told that, hey, just do 5 moves. That's what gets over. 5 moves and staring. 5 moves and staring. So I don't know how much that's him and how much it is him giving instructions. And I don't want to give him, I don't want to make up excuses. I don't want to be like, oh, well, it's not Roman Reigns' fault. I just think, it's kind of like being a president of the United States. You really don't have any fucking power. You're just chosen there and have to do what you're told. That's what it's like for WWE and being the Golden Boy. So I think people are going to turn on Roman Reigns, but with that said, just like the president, you can be like, well, this one was better than the last one, and we should feel good about that at least.
I kind of agree with you. I think the fans will turn on Roman Reigns if WWE keeps pushing him and promoting him the exact same way they did John Cena. Cena, believe it or not, we're going way back in time here, was actually cheered by the fans. I mean, they wanted him to be in the main event. They wanted him to get a push, and then he stopped being John Cena, and then he became Superman, then had no human qualities whatsoever, and they kept him on top, and then the fans turned on him, and WWE still pushed him. I mean, I remember back, it actually bothered Cena, because I remember, the reports that he was actually talking to people like Shawn Michaels, like, well, what do I do? I mean, these guys keep booing the hell out of me, and, Shawn Michaels was like, okay, just be patient here, you got to let them come around, but perform for the people watching at home, not for the people in the arena. And I'm hoping WWE at least learned a lesson of, we don't need to constantly have our guy on top all the time and shove him down everybody's throats. But then again, this is WWE, power sweep, shoving the top guy down everybody's throats, they may stick with that formula. So it's just going to depend on how he's promoted in the future, what they do with him, how his character develops, is what they'll do with him. So
I just want to add one thing, Booms. If
Yeah.
you hate Roman Reigns now, oh God, build up to WrestleMania, you're gonna fucking absolutely hate him. Because if you think
You're
he's
gonna
being
kill
pushed too
yourself.
hard and he's being too much of a WWE superstar / golden boy, it only gets worse from here. So buckle up. Just keep telling yourself, if it helps you with your sanity, he's better than Cena.
There you
Because
go.
it gets worse from here.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Shield guy's like, I don't see a problem with this at all.
This is what I signed up for.
Exactly. I wonder how much longer it's going to take us before we induct Roman Reigns into the D Club. I'm just wondering, speculating. All right. Next year, we came to the main event of the night. In my opinion, the best John Cena match I've ever seen. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Cena never got out the fucking gate. It's like those prize fights, like in UFC, and the match ends like the whole bout ends in like within 30 seconds in the first round, or those football games where it's practically over after the first quarter. It's like 28-0. That's what it was like. I mean, within 30 seconds, Lesnar had John Cena in the F5. Cena, of course, kicked out. And I'm like, okay, here we go. That was the best shot that Lesnar was going to get. No, he kept beating the shit out of him and gave him 16 German suplexes throughout the evening. Was toyed with him. Cena got about 2 or 3 flurries of offense in there. But eventually, I mean, it was not even close, convincing fashion. I mean, however you want to put it, he brutalized John Cena. Now, I think when Paul Heyman comes out tomorrow, he's going to say, hey, we did exactly what we said we were going to do. We victimized John Cena. I mean, only thing they needed to do to put the icing on the cake was take John Cena's wallet and basically call it a mugging. That's what they needed to do. And, I mean, everybody, as soon as this happens, I mean, VGC fans, 17, Cena lost clean. What more can you say when we're asking them win, loss, or tie? Malik Douglas, win. And then Garuda, win. Lesnar's is the monster, or excuse me, Lesnar is a monster, only one who can beat Cena clean. I mean, Goro is singing his praises here. I'm going through here. There's actually one comment that I need to read because it's fucking hilarious. I don't know if it's an insult but anyway, it's Mr. Biggs, a.k.a. the bad guy. He says, Brock Lesnar wins and all the smart marks and Cena haters collectively jizz themselves. So, Dave Kocosports, are you cleaning the jizz out of your pants right now?
This is, oh God, I'm going to get negative. Once again, it's the president, Roman Reigns. It's better than the last guy. I mean, I'm not jizzing my pants at all. I'm glad John Cena lost. Brock Lesnar brings media exposure to WWE that would never be there. I would do the same exact thing, but as far as jizzing my pants, no, it's not like this is Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, or anyone talented. Brock Lesnar does have great matches. This just wasn't one of them. I thought it was really slow. I did not enjoy it at all. The only thing I did enjoy was John Cena lost. I don't even think I enjoyed Brock Lesnar winning. I enjoyed John Cena losing. That's it. I don't, but Brock winning does bring eyeballs that normally wouldn't watch WWE, which is good for them. And not only that, but it's a perfect time for Golden Boy Roman Reigns to be made for WrestleMania. So I don't know, but Jason Rex kind of agrees with me. He's angry from Facebook. He says, here's my question a week for you, Dave. Which Brock Lesnar match was worse, this John Cena match or Brock vs. Goldberg? Listen, I'm shitting on this match because it's slow. I didn't enjoy it. But nothing's as bad as the Brock vs. Goldberg match. I mean, I'm on board. I am on board of saying, hey, this fucking wasn't a good match. I know I'm in the minority. I know some people are going to be like, oh, this was great. No, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar was better than this. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar was better than this. Triple H, Brock Lesnar was better than this. So, Brock Lesnar could have good matches. I just don't think this is one. And I think people that really enjoyed this were just people that absolutely hate John Cena. Like, I think if this was a match versus Randy Orton, people would be like, what the fuck was this piece of shit match? But, you know, and maybe that's a credit to WWE. Maybe that's a credit to John Cena. But I did not really enjoy the match except for John Cena losing. But is it as bad as Brock versus Goldberg? Sorry, Jason Rex. I'm a negative motherfucker. I'm not that negative. Rob, your thoughts?
I love the match. See, my logic is, I'm not looking at it as, oh, it was slow, it was blah, blah, blah. The whole point of the match was Lesnar wanted to break Cena. He conquered the streak, and now his next massive feat that he's accomplishing is breaking Cena. And that was the whole message he was sending, and that was the message he accomplished in that match, is it seemed like he broke Cena. And that was the point of the match. He wanted to break Cena. And that builds him up more than just beating Cena because he looks strong.
I'll say this. I loved it. You know, they kept asking the referee, ask him ref, and of course Cena wouldn't give up, and they kept beating him more. I should mention here that I think had the original plan, which was, and this was assuming Daniel Bryan didn't get hurt. What we saw tonight, take out John Cena and put in Daniel Bryan. And I'm just saying, if that happened, I mean, just the fact that it happened to Cena, we absolutely loved it. We ate it up. It was amazing. But if Daniel Bryan doesn't get hurt, and that match, what we saw tonight happens to Daniel Bryan, my God, oh my God, the Internet Infantry, we'd be on our way to Titan Towers right now with torches and pitchforks.
That makes me wish it did happen, because that would have been amazing.
I still think the match would have been better. I still, even if they broke Daniel Bryan and beat his ass down, I still think the match would have been better. I think the reaction would have been a lot different from everybody, but I think it would have been better. And there's a part of me, I saw a comic or a meme where Undertaker was choking Vince McMahon, and it says, what, you think that John Cena, you think Brock should lose to John Cena? And I thought, because, if you were Undertaker, you're like, dude, I just fucking lost a streak. This son of a bitch better go somewhere. And now that he's champ. As far as the storyline goes, but you know what? A lot of people, like I said, I'm picking on Rob here just to be, an asshole or a counter-argument. You're like, oh, it told a story. It broke him. What part of Brock Lesnar dancing? He was doing Dance Dance Evolution. I would say he's almost as bad as Randy Orton, staring, but at least he fucking got a little groove. You know what? No one fucking 90% of fucking that match can be replaced with. Anyone play Super Mario Brothers Wii U? There's a character called Boom Boom. He's like one of the Koopa kids, but he's not a Koopa kid. I don't know where the fuck Boom Boom comes from. And if you just sit there, you watch him, he does like this little cool dance while you're waiting for him in the castle. And if you don't pause, because my kid finds it to be fucking hilarious, he'll just dance forever. You can literally take the Mario Wii U footage and replace Brock with Boom Boom for 90% of the match. Just
except you're missing the point of what that was.
Yeah,
he was doing that to show how much energy he still had, and to be like, look, you're exhausted. Look at how much energy I have.
I know, and Mario and Luigi, by the time they get there, he gets his ass whooped, and he's... Oh, you were talking about Brock. I thought you were talking about Boom Boom.
You just didn't fancy.
So, yeah, I'm going with... Dude, it's like Daredevil. It would be a good match if you cut 60% of it off. Like, Daredevil would be a good movie if you cut 60% of the film out. Same thing with this match. You cut out 60% of Brock. Hey, guys, what's going on? I'm in a match. John Cena's overselling. That's good. That's an improvement for him, right? Dude, I wish we could have, like, a little timer. Who's good? Well, you got Wrestling Rantin', but also Wrestling Rantin' and Botchamania. I would like a countdown of of Randy Orton staring and Brock Lesnar just dancing. Like, nothing going on. And I guarantee we get over the 15-minute mark. It's got to be over the 15-minute mark. It's just ridiculous. What part of the story is he's beating him down?
The whole thing was he beat him up, and he would stand over him, and it was like, okay, ask him, he's going to give up? Nope, okay, we beat him some more. Ask him now, referee's ready to give up? Nope, okay, I'm going to beat him some more. I think that was the whole point. It was cold calculating. It was just him taking John Cena apart piece by piece. savoring every second. He wanted Cena to. I'm going kayfabe here. He wanted Cena to know he was getting his ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
But,
next time you beat someone's ass, gentlemen, please do the Brock Lesnar dance.
You know what, Wrestling Rain, if you can make it happen, please do a timer like Dave suggested. I'm actually interested to see how much time we've got in between moves.
And then on top of that, we'll do a third timer against that. How many times Dave has just been negative as fuck about everything.
Oh, dude, I'm negative as fuck about everything all the time. I gotta take DDP yoga or something. Fucking, that's 24/7. 24/7. Even when I'm happy, deep down inside, there's a monster of hate in my heart.
I thought that was just indigestion, but all right. Robert Ross says, Lesnar is awesome. Thank you, WWE, for putting the title on someone who deserves it. Glenn Rainwater said, when I saw 2 title changes, I thought to myself, well, there's our title changes for the night, so I guess Cena will retain. Glad I was wrong. I'm going down, it's completely down the list here. Let's see. Chadium says, I know everyone likes to see Cena get squashed, but that match was the biggest disappointment of the night. Oh, somebody's agreeing with you, Dave. He says, first of all, it was boring, and secondly, it was either too unrealistic or overly realistic on how you look at it. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from on that one. You know, it was realistic in the fact of, yeah, you put a former UFC heavyweight champion, you know, who outweighs John Cena by probably, 100 pounds, and has got at least a foot, you know, I'm exaggerating here, height advantage on him. What the fuck do you think's going to happen if it's a real fight? But then it was just unrealistic in the fact of, okay, so you mean to tell me this professional fighter, this former UFC heavyweight champion, is just going to stop out of the goodness of his heart, ask a referee to stop the match, and doesn't going to hit him again, and then stop? Why doesn't he just finish him off? You know, so I could see both sides of the same coin. You know, I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Dave? Do you think Chadium has a good point?
I think so, because my whole thing is, if you're going to make it realistic, I would have gave it so little time. I would have made this one, and not only that, but I think it would have got the reaction, like the F5. I would have made it like a Mike Tyson fight. I would have gave other matches longer time, except Stephanie. I would cut that off the fucking show. I would give the matches longer time, and then it would be like running out, and people are like, what the fuck? There's only like 5-10 minutes left. And then Brock comes down, and I would have fucking beat him Mike Tyson style. It would have told a better, more realistic story. Comes down, bam, 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 F5, 1, 2, 3. Holy shit, that just fucking happened. Now, of course, they can't do that because John Cena has to sell the T-shirts, but that's what I would do. And another thing, I'm going to get off topic here. Google Plus. I look on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, and YouTube. YouTube has a bad reputation of, you know, being assholes. Let me tell you, not on my social media. Google Plus, you're a bunch of racist scumbags. This is the only Google Plus comment I can read and still feel better about myself. There's some really bad comments on Google Plus tonight. Shame on you guys. I wish WrestleAM was Family Guy, because Dave's rants needs cutaways to 80s cartoon shows and 80s TV shows and cartoons. That would be great if we had the budget. We can't. You just have to deal with the story. All right. The rest of you guys on Google Plus, you know, I'm a negative person, but you guys need a hug. You guys need some damn hugs over there on Google Plus. All right. Oh, man.
Nita Jones says, do you think Brock Lesnar made Cena look weak? For lack of a better word, he destroyed Cena even more than I thought he would. John never stood a chance. Rob, you want to take that one?
Dude, John Cena looks like a bitch compared to Lesnar right now. Like, it looks like that wasn't even, like, wrestling. It looks like Lesnar was told to finish with Cena wins, and was like, yeah, okay, we'll see about that, and just decided to just keep fucking suplexing him until Cena was like, alright, dude, whatever, just fucking pin me. I'm fucking done.
Let's see, Loki is me, says the main event was terrible in my opinion. Cena pretty much just laid on the mat for 20 minutes. While Lesnar waited for him to get up. Hogan Sting could work a faster match at their age. Wow.
I think the big indicator is Lesnar was pouring sweat. Even at the very end, Cena hadn't broken a sweat because he hadn't done shit.
He was like, I'm just going to lay here.
Sorry.
Anyone?
Oh God, where do I start here? I think it's hockey. Hockey fans like, well, how do you book Brock Lesnar? Where does Brock Lesnar go from here? Simple. I wouldn't have them go too far. I think the plan is that they get the rematch at Night of Champions. This is what I've read. Now things could possibly change, so I'm not technically giving away spoilers here, but in case I am, put your fingers in your ears and hum for like the next 30 seconds. Ready? Okay, it's your fault from here on out. What I've been reading off the internet is John Cena is going to get his rematch at Night of Champions. He'll get the win, but as soon as he gets the win, Seth Rollins is going to cash in Money in the Bank and win the title from John Cena that night and be the new champion. Okay, spoiler alert over. You can take your fingers out of your ears and quit humming. All right, so I mean that's what I hear. That's what I'm hearing.
See, that's not what I'm hoping happens. What I'm hoping happens is Brock Lesnar just every week goes down and introduces a new superstar every Monday. This new one, till the whole roster's gone, and that's when Daniel Bryan comes back. And then after he beats Daniel Bryan, he goes to CM Punk's house and just beats CM Punk in his house. And that's when the WWE ends.
Ooh, Chad Enium, I'm sorry I'm fucking your name up. I really do apologize. He says, I really don't understand how anyone could love that match. It's the most boring main event in a pay-per-view I've ever seen. Is it really just because everyone hates Cena so much? I would say yes on that one, sir.
Wasn't Goldberg versus Lesnar a main event?
No, that was a WrestleMania match, and they were both leaving.
That was WrestleMania 20.
God.
And they both mailed it in because both of them were leaving on like shaky terms. Not really, maybe bad terms, but I would describe it more as shaky terms. So here's one from Jerry. All right, here's some crazy questions we have. These are search terms people use to find our Kocosports.net site today. You ready, Booms?
Okay.
Here we go. Some of them are kind of crazy. Hulk Hogan, shot for fucking guy's sister? Real? No, that was an internet thing. Best way to beat up... Oh, I can't say that. MMA battle for pussy. Ronda Rousey, lesbian hot fuck. Was Ultimate Warrior murdered? Did Thor fuck Cena and style Doggy Green She-Hulk? My girlfriend wrestler, how can I beat him up? Wrong? Did Daniel Bryan really cheat on his wife? Dude, you gotta love how people find you on Google. Thanks, Google Analytics. I appreciate that.
Oh my god, that is awesome.
So, yeah, people find us for the craziest reasons, obviously. Those were the top search terms for our website tonight.
Wow. Oh god, let's get to some comments here. This is from Forsaken. He says, Cena versus Lesnar match is my favorite Cena ever had, the best fight Cena ever dished out to someone. Why? Because I wanted to see a slaughter, not a wrestling match, and I got it served to me on time on a golden platter. This pay-per-view, this match itself, along with delicious internet infantry cake, was the best meal anyone could ask for. This is exactly how Cena should be. Destroyed weekly, me so happy. And I should mention that Forsaken, when he talked about the internet infantry cake, no, he literally baked a cake with the internet infantry logo on it. And he sent me a picture.
I'm trying to find a photo of it. Give me a second. I'll show it.
Oh my god! And I just got a question. What kind of icing are we talking here? What kind of cake was it? Chocolate cake, vanilla? Was it yellow? Was it like a red velvet cake? What kind of cake we talking here? Because if we're gonna have the internet infantry cake, I mean, I gotta have all the details here, and I gotta know if that cake was any good. Okay, Dave, start talking so we see what the internet infantry cake looks like.
There you go. There's the internet infantry cake. You know what? There might be other more popular YouTubers out there. Good for them. But none of them have internet infantry cakes. Internet infantry for life. There you go. That's so sweet. And he didn't make it. Someone made it for him. A female member of the internet infantry made it for him. So we're making internet infantry love cakes here.
We've got the fucking cake.
That's all that really matters. That's all that matters. I mean, other shows, they might have more views. They might have better looking hosts.
I don't know about that.
They might get more likes, but they don't have internet infantry cakes. No, they do not. +1 for the good guys. All right. Booms, you got any more comments, or are we going to wrap this bad boy up?
Let's just go ahead and wrap it up. If you get any comments from here on out, you can still put them in, and we'll be sure to try to tackle them and stump the idiot. Of course, we'll be back here tomorrow night.
We're way behind on Stump the Idiot, but that's my fault. My August is very busy. Matter of fact, the last week of August, Boom Boom will be handling the ship. Boom Boom will be the boss man. So I know there's a lot of people mad that we haven't done Stump the Idiot in a real long time, and that is my fault. I do apologize. Go ahead, Booms. I just wanted to take the blame for you. I wanted to dive on the bomb for you. Go ahead.
There we go. But that's going to wrap it up now. Real quick here before we go, guys. Let's put a bow on it here. SummerSlam 2014 going into the books. Real quick, I want to tell everybody, at least in my opinion here, and I want to get your guys' opinion on here. First of all, what matches should people check out, and what do you rate it? I would tell everybody pretty much just check out the entire pay-per-view. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff, especially that first hour was fucking amazing. Watch the first hour definitely. It does slow down after the Lumberjack match, the Chris Jericho-Wyatt match. Everything slows down past that point. But overall, nothing, even the bad matches even weren't that bad. So I would say it was
fucking horrible.
Well, I'm not going to say it was god-awful. I mean, it wasn't great, but even the bad matches weren't that bad. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, you know what? I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to give it an 8. It's definitely worth checking out, and I'm interested to see how they follow it up tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Dave Kocosports, first of all, what matches should people check out, and 2, what are you giving on a scale of 1 to 10?
The first hour is amazing. Everything before the Bray Wyatt match, and the Bray Wyatt match wasn't bad. It's just everything before the Bray Wyatt match is absolutely amazing. And if you can only, because G1, there was a lot of days. And I was like, if you can't watch all of G1, I understand, but watch the last 2 matches of the G1 tournament. You have to do that. I think if I had to talk about SummerSlam, you have to watch up to the Bray Wyatt match. And it's not a knock on Bray Wyatt. It's just everything before that was absolutely amazing. So I'm giving the first hour a 9, the second hour a 4. So what's 4 plus 9 divided by 7 equals Kevin Nash. My final score is I'm going to give it a 5.5. There you go, 5.5.
All right, what do you say, Rob?
I'm giving it a 9.5 because while Dave may hate on some of the matches, at least there wasn't a Martin Marvel match, and that's what's important. There was at least some quality wrestling happening. That was a great night. That was a great
fun of our friends that no one knows about. Rob is the king of inside jokes.
No one gets.
All right.
All right, guys, so we're going to have to wrap it up now. I'd like to thank everybody on the Internet Infantry for joining us here. If we didn't get to your comments, I do apologize, but keep them in there. We'll try to get to it, Stump the Idiot. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing to us. If you're new, hey, click on the subscribe button. We do this shit all the time. We do virtually a show for every wrestling program every week, so you won't feel left out. And if you want to check us out, be sure to check us out on our homepage at Kocosports.com. That's KOCO sports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got it covered there on the site. We've also got the Coco blog, which is Dave Kocosports' personal blog. We've also got news and gossip over there, as well as our very popular video on demand section. We got it all right there at Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
Rob, it's your time on the stage. You can plug any fictional thing that doesn't exist like you always do.
www.kocosports.com.
Whoa, that actually exists. Usually we let the co-host pimp something out, and Rob is the only one who pimps out stuff that doesn't exist. Please go check out Kocosports.com or Kocosports.net. We're going to work really hard on it. In September, we're going to bust some ass. August we're in survival mode. We're in the second half of SummerSlam. But September, hopefully we'll be on the first half of SummerSlam and whooping some ass. Also, check out our friends over at Wrestling Renton. He does YouTube too, and I like it. He's a little more positive than me, and he does a lot of video editing and a lot shorter shows. So go check him out. He's always supported us, and we really appreciate it. And I wish more people were as cool as him. He's a real cool dude for YouTube, because YouTube. And some people are really scummy on this place, but he's a real cool cat. So please go check him out. And Booms, thank you. Rob, thank you. Internet Inventory, thank you. Jerry, thank you. And everyone else, just thank you. Very, very lot of thanks. And so I think that's it. I'm done rambling. With that, go to Kocosports.com. I am over. Bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum.